Reed Martin, proud producer and proprietor, patriotic projectile party poppers. Got some uppity brown people making trouble for your empire? Replace them with a charred freighter and a cloud of white smoke. So remember, if your next geostrategic boondoggle's going awry, don't call us, we'll call you.
Introducing Cognitive Interrupter Alpha. Oh yeah!
Oh no.
Oh yeah?
No.
Scientifically formulated by men who look like doctors. This supplement has been proven in over 1.5 studies to heighten critical thinking while simultaneously preserving your myopic, Abrahamic nationalist worldview while still keeping you on a short leash of ignorance and fear. Results may vary from person to person. May take 104 weeks to see lasting results. If warts appear,
Hey Doc, what the hell is this?
I don't know, but it don't look right.
please contact your local Jonestown chapter. And remember at checkout, select auto shift for a sweet 45-degree win. The globalist Luciferians and their Islamist supplicants are pouring across the borders of several Western nations, including our own. The thrust of their zeal threatens to violate the sovereignty of our way of life, but we can never let it threaten our bodies. Presenting Homogard, a male chastity phallic blocker. It's designed to prevent any jihadi penetration to your rectum while applying moderate pressure to the prostate gland to promote your masculine vitality. Homogard. It is also equipped with an array of nodes to detect the brain activity of any potential Wahhabi salami near you, which will silently alert you with a subtle vibration. Homogard. This is a true breakthrough in health and defense, but don't take my word for it. Homogard made me feel safe, but I'm insecure in a whole nother way now. I never knew just how many Wahhabi terrorists were near me all the time. Thanks, Homogard. It's not a stretch of the imagination that our own bodies are under threat of an invasion, because Homogard has stretched out far more than that for me. We can and will defeat the globalist scum on the home front, but we need to make sure we're well protected around back. Homogard.
Want a casual dining experience that's as creepy as it is fun?
Come on down to Odysee Pizza!
We have an abductable, delectable selection of cheeses and sauces. And don't forget hot dogs. Featuring wholesome live music entertainment that's not at all hypnotic. Go balls deep on one of our many ping pong tables. Then come deep inside and see our newly renovated soundproof daycare. They'll be fine. Try our all-new Spirit Kitchen soups and salads.
What the fuck is that?
Don't let hunger get away with molesting your day. Pedos to pizza. Good times and creepy vibes, or we'll eat your kids free.
You mean kids eat free?
Yeah, what you said.
Boom. There we go. Here we are now. Entertain us. All right. Yes, Pedos the Pizza. That's right next to Moish's Bagel Shop. Let's talk about ESG. And then we're going to talk about Chabad, or fucking stupid narrative going around. Which one do you want to do first? You can tell me on entropy, or let's see. Get rid of this. Yeah, the Bigot Arena is open. I guess I should share that link out on Telegram real fast. If you've seen the Substack, you already know what I'm about to say. We start out with that. Blame it on Ukraine. It's it's old Milli Vanilli, the pair of fraudsters who got caught lip syncing all their songs that 5 other people were actually singing. But one of their hits was Blame It on the Rain. And as the lyrics go, anything but yourself. You know, you can't take the blame yourself. Very shout out to the sisters. That's their philosophy. Never your fault. Always someone else's. Blame it on Ukraine, right? Blame it on the war. And that is what the Biden's doing. He's calling it the Putin price hike. It's the Biden price hike. It's all of them. All of them are on this green cult. If you remember the video, and I'd show you this stream. What the fuck's it called? Not StreamYards. The other one, Streamlabs, has scat the bed again. It's I can't do video inserts like I used to, and I cannot screen capture the whole thing, and I also can't slide in pictures. Very limited here on the StreamYards, but whatever. And the Varg is asleep, and it's just every time. It just the settings, whatever. I'm tired of tech stuff, but if you remember from the debates, so you're gonna have to do this from memory, even though I have the video and it's on Substack, you cannot see it because of the software. But Biden said he's going to transition away from fossil fuels in the oil industry. Oh, that's a big statement. Trump said that's a big statement. How is that going to impact the economy? Well, that's what they decided to do. The Biden administration all said, well, he's going to re-sign the Paris Accords. He did. Trump pulled out of that. He saved us by pulling out of that. All these European greeno weirdos decided, oh, they're all for the Paris Accords, limiting carbon emissions, da-da-da-da-da. But it has nothing to do with trying to save the planet. It is a theme. Going green is a theme to suck off the tit of government subsidies, corporate welfare, under the guise of environmental safety or whatever. And it isn't. They're okay. They're not producing their own fuel, but they're buying it from someone else. Up until Ukraine, they just bought oil from Russia and liquid gas. The net is the same. You're still using oil and gas. You're just buying it from a foreign state instead of making it yourself. And why would they do that? Because all the wind turbines and solar power and stuff do not work. They don't produce enough energy. But they subsidize all those too. And then you've got all these corporate conglomerates that invest in the companies that are giving government subsidies. It's very similar to the MIC, and the Raytheon, General Dynamic, and Lockheed Martin, right? Boeing, Northrop Grumman, all these groups. They're welfare queens. But hey, you need to build some Tomahawk missiles out of Alabama? Raytheon's your boy, right? Right before a conflict, everybody invests in these defense industries, knowing they're going to get government contracts worth billions of dollars. And of course, the stock price goes up, in part on earnings and in part on all the new investors. So they have incentive to start a conflict or a war. Well, green energy, you can do that in peacetime and wartime. It doesn't matter. They'll say, we're going to have a big fat subsidy for whatever, putting plugs on cows or something, or solar panels or whatever. And all these people want to invest. Now, they go to investment management firms like Vanguard and BlackRock. And a lot of people have been pointing out recently that they own everything. Well, they're certainly profiteering, but they don't own anything. They manage the money for other companies who actually own the shares, that actually own the stocks. So it'll just say Vanguard Group or whatever, or BlackRock Group. But they're buying things with other people's money. It's the ones Microsoft, Alphabet, which is Google, and YouTube, Apple, nothing surprising. Those are the principal investors into BlackRock and Vanguard, who then invest in, you name it, Twitter, Truist Bank, pick something, there they are. You will not find a major company, especially in media, that isn't Vanguard and BlackRock. Larry Fink from BlackRock. What's his job? Excuse me. We're all sick over here. One of my sons had 105.8 degree fever last night. Couldn't go to the hospital. Can't go today either. It was Sunday. Today's a holiday. They're just not open. ER is full because of all the old people getting corona attention. And all they want to ask is corona. When my 1-year-old had a fever, they gave him, a 1-year-old baby, 3 corona tests. Of course, all of them negative. And didn't help him. That's universal healthcare, though. Japan's ranked like top 3 in the world. That's the kind of healthcare you really get. You don't get anything. They've lost their minds on this corona crap. half the staff has quit. They don't want to get vaccinated. And even though it's not mandated, it kind of is because you're so pressured to do it. Yeah, and it, up all night, putting rags all over his body, and he had suppository stuff. It's just hell. So I got a bit of cough and stuff too, and I don't have a health card. Also because of Corona. I got stuck in Texas. Sorry, I'm bitching. I'll get back to the green energy stuff. This is how health in general is. I was stuck for an extra 5 days because I failed a Corona test, even though I felt fine after a day. They wouldn't let me on a plane. Because of that, I didn't get home in time to apply for the paperwork for my visa. I was supposed to get back on the 6th. Shit was due on the 14th. I got back 5 a.m. the 13th. So I had to call and put it all in late. I had everything in by the 15th. They haven't given me a visa yet. Because I don't have a visa, I don't have a national health care card. So when I'm sick, hurt, injured, I can't go to the hospital. I can't go to the doctor. I can't do anything. So I've just been pretty much, y'all have heard me coughing and throat sore and stuff. All of half of June, half of July. Can't get any medicine. And it's not like America where you know what you need. You just go buy it over the counter. Everything, even ibuprofen, whatever, you cannot buy that without a prescription. You have to go to a doctor. And that's part of the other frivolousness of the universal health care is like they make you go to the doctor for the tiniest little thing that any adult could figure out. I just need some Tylenol or whatever. Nope. You got to go to the doctor, get a note, go to the pharmacy. And you're not allowed at the doctor unless you have a national health card. You don't have that card, they don't care if your leg is falling off. They're like, nah, I'm bleed to death. They will not do anything about the card. And that's another thing. Even in an ER, the Japanese, they're so fucking robot people about the paperwork. They'll sit there and ask you to fill out a thing with your address and all this shit before anything. Like, just, dude, I'll do this as you're treating them. Treat them. Won't do it. Fuck the government. Okay. Getting back to it. We have a Gab. We have a VK. I am burning up. Hold on. I'll be right back. That's the other shitty thing about Japanese houses. There are no locks on the internal doors. So nobody can lock their room, whatever. I cannot lock my office. I have to take weights and put them up against the door so the baby doesn't just come running in here and knock the monitor over or whatever. They have these little sliding paper doors. You can get the wooden doors, but anybody can just push them open. They don't lock their doors inside their house. The only door to lock is the one with the toilet. And that's it. You can't add one. I'm over it. Okay. There you think. I would love to have a shekel chat. Let's look at Odysee. Oh, there are two. Proto Kill with 25 coming out swinging. Hope the young one is okay. I'm sure we'll get an update. Do you think the strikes in Gaza were given tacit approval by Biden, or does it even matter? I think it was a way of furthering the narrative of hostile Muslim neighbors, not illegally occupied people, always uninhabited targets, right? Well, Biden was just in Israel. He called it his home. And then he went to Saudi Arabia, where they promptly did not give him an oil deal, even though he went over there and begged like an idiot. The Saudi Arabia is looking at him like, hey, you said you're going to transition away from oil, and you've got a female vice president. with the IQ of a bucket of sand. They're laughing at us. He's not going to get a deal. And yeah, oh, wow, look, Hamas and Israel start fighting as soon as the U.S. president is visiting. Imagine my lack of shock. The whole narrative, the whole media is on Israel's side, so it doesn't matter what happens, who starts what. It's always going to be Palestine's fault because they don't own the media, and Zionists do, and that's something we're going to get to in a second. You got another Zionist, Larry Fink. His job is to get investors into equity funds, and there is no bigger or better draw than the ESG market, which is the environmental social governance, because it's backed by the government's tax collection, aka theft. They steal your money, they subsidize ESGs, anything with a green theme, right? And then guys like Larry Fink gather all these investments, for a price, and put them into the right categories. Now, Larry Fink, the guys at BlackRock and Vanguard, had the inside scoop on who the government's dishing money out to, how many subsidies are about to go where. The Pelosi's and stuff will tell them. It's insider trading. And then they manage these people's money. I really wish I could play the clip from Biden transition away from the oil industry, but go to Substack, read the article. It's all in there. And the performance rates, it's off the chart. I just lost another thing. I'm learning StreamYards on the fly because the other one didn't work this morning, and I just thought it's important. Need to get this in there. So I've heard a lot of people here. There's Odysee. Oh, another one came in from, looks like Comet is their name. What's up, Raya? I was so tempted to join the Telegram trap again when you posted on ANC's thread. It was taking too much from my responsibilities and too much fun, so I had to bail, unfortunately. Still here for the analysis. God bless. P.S. Did Hunter F. Obama's daughter? No. That's a QAnon thing. It's just some random black prostitute, and they're like, oh, look, that's Obama's daughter. It was not. And they took an old picture from 4chan of like her credit card next to some cocaine that was photoshopped. That's all a lie. And this is what they do. I don't know why you would do this, but you've already got them dead to rights, banging hookers, doing illegal drugs, doing illegal white collar crimes. Why do you have to make it more fantastical and be like, and Obama's daughter was there? No, she wasn't. And when you say alarmist stuff, exaggerations, you discredit everything else that's real. It's kind of like saying I was given an apple a day at Buchenwald. No, I mean Auschwitz. No, I mean, you're a liar. And you're detracting away from other people who actually suffered when you make up stories like that. And you're detracting away from all the damning stuff on the laptop when you make up things that are going to go right to fact checkers and Scopes and Snopes or whatever the hell, who are going to say, that isn't true. See, this laptop stuff is Russian disinformation. Even with BlackRock and Vanguard, I told you, they manage other people's money. People are like, oh, they own everything. Don't sloganeer. If you mean by that, like, they're the middleman for all these giant corporate conglomerates that are profiteering off of essentially government subsidized programs, say all of that, because that's accurate. But don't be like, they own this. That's not what owning means. Okay, they're the largest shareholder on behalf of others. And it's still not even majority share. It's just the largest chunk of a whole bunch of different investors that hold shares in some kind of equity. The word equity doesn't even mean equity anymore. Now that just means racial diversity minus white. Anyway, there is a temptation for a lot of people that just, for whatever reason, they need this pyramid structure of somebody's on the top, the Rothschilds or whatever, and they just own everything and everyone's under them. That is not how the world works. And you see that top piece, that it's got a lot of names, right? It was the NWO, it was the globalists, it was the Luciferians, it was the elite, it was the deep state, it was anything. Just say it, man. You have a group of ethno-supremacist pedophiles, primarily of a particular tribe, backed by a state, that run the world through blackmail, bribery, and bottlenecking key industries. That has happened. That is verifiable. These people have names. So name them. But it isn't a top-down, one guy runs them all like Lord Voldemort or something. You watch too much Star Wars and sci-fi fantasy stuff. It's not the structure. And I'm gonna hurt some people's feels today, but one of the threads out there, one of the kookified retard pothead theories is it's Chabad Leibovich that runs the world. It's Chabad because once upon a time Putin shook hands with so and so, and he's a rabbi, and they're all blah 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 blah. Oh look, he didn't kick out every single Jewish billionaire. Some of them are still there. Well, you're setting the bar a little high. Oh, look, here's some that didn't get thrown out of the country. Okay. I don't talk about Chabad very much. Same reason I don't talk about Bilderberg very much. They're totally insignificant. Evil, but you're talking bottom rung of the ladder. You want to know who's the top of the ladder? Likud, AIPAC. That's who runs our shit. That's who runs our foreign policy. That's who's backed by a state with nuclear weapons they stole from the United States. Not some cult with insignificant numbers and zero power over anything. Well, let's look at it. If you think Iran or Russia are Zog because of Chabad, and we all know who says this, Jeremy, Adam, Brendan, Martinez, Brandon, whatever. Okay, kooks. Let's look at U.S. foreign policy too. Do you think the media is Zionist? Yeah, I agree. Look at the stories in Israel and Palestine today. Our media, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Fox, CBS, all run by bell-ringing, tribalist Zionists. Go look up their names. How many are in Chabad? None. Zero. Are they against Russia? Yeah. Is the U.S. media against Russia? I think so. I think all of it. Papers, talking heads, all of them. Anti-Russia, anti-Iran. Did Israel want Russia to help Iran with their nuclear program? No. Did they do it anyway? Yes. Did Israel want Russia putting S-300 systems and other anti-air defense in Syria? No. Did they do it anyway? Yes. Russia does whatever is in Russia's interest. Did Israel and Russia do a deal on drone technology during the Georgian War? Yes. Why? Because Russia's at war with Georgia. Georgia's using U.S. drones. Israel has the keys for those. So Russia needs that information so they can shoot them down. Why did they work with them then? Because it was in their own national security interest to do it. That's not being ruled by Zog. That's being ruled by a Russian nationalist. He does whatever is good for his state. Now, you could say, I don't like that either. Fine. But that is not. When your Zionist-occupied government is when your government does things against your national interests for the interests of Israel, like Canada and the United States and most of Europe. That's Zog and Zom. And it ain't Chabad. It's Likud. Someone, Shekelchat, let's say his name is Aiden Daniels. Who do you think the next Western leader who will be ousted, in your opinion? I think Olaf Scholz from Germany. That's the next one to go for Western leaders. If I was to guess, or yeah, Biden's getting pretty close too, but no, I would say Scholz. Okay. When you go against your own national interest for Israel, that's when you're occupied. Okay. Our media is Zionist run. Zero from Chabad. let's look at PNAC. Okay, I would show you the picture, but we can't pull those up. So, the OSP was run by whom? Douglas Feith, set up by Richard Pearl in the DOD. Richard Pearl worked with Netanyahu, had been caught spying for Israel in the 70s. Is he Chabad? No, he's Likud. How about Feith? Wrong. Likud again. Seen a pattern? Paul Wolfowitz. Mark Zell, by the way, lives in a settlement in Israel. So did Wolfowitz's sister. Lives in a settlement in Israel. Are they Chabad? No. Wolfowitz, head of the World Bank, another architect for the Iraq War. Oded Yanan, William Crystal, Robert Kagan, David Wormser, Joe Lieberman, William Sapphire, Elliot Cohen, Philip Zelikow, Elliot Abrams, David Fromm, the speechwriter for The Axis of Evil and all that, Scooter Libby, right? Part of the Plame affair, right? Bernard Lewis. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all Jewish Zionist neocons. How many are in Chabad? None. Zero. Because they don't matter. They're insignificant. It's AIPAC. Stupid. Chertoff. Keep going down the list. None of them are in Chabad. Get off the Chabad dick riding train. They don't matter. Okay? Look at all the PNAC people. Every single one of them is a Zionist pushing Likud. Some in labor. And you can go down all the other parties in the Israeli state. And Chabad is way down in the basement on the bottom. You're barking up the wrong tree. Do they suck? Yes, they do. It's, but who had the terrorist groups? Where did Haganah come from? Where did Palmach, Bersha, Lishka? Are these Chabad groups? No, they're not. They're from the Jewish Agency. They're from, if you've seen the Numek film, you've seen every single person on that map, all those mobsters involved in organized crime, the rest of it, and Hank Greenspun and all this, Bloomberg, Bloomingfield, right? Who backed Epstein? Rabbi Herbert Friedman, Les Wexner, the Bronfmans. Go down the list of Jewish billionaires who are supremacist, Zionists, and backing the mega group, right? All the mega donors, all of them are Likud or labor. Not a single person in Chabad. Which Zionists run your show? Gee, let's think. We can go over Biden's current administration, right? Who got us into Ukraine as part of the Maidan coup? It was part of the F the EU. Victoria Nuland, wife of Robert Kagan. Is she a Jew? Yeah. Is she Chabad? Nope. Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen. Jewish? Yes. Zionist? Yes. Chabad? No. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. Jewish? Yes. Zionist? Yes. Chabad? No. Attorney General, right? Merrick Garland. Jewish? Yes. Zionist? Yes. Chabad? No. Homeland Security. You can go down the list. The NDI, the White House Chief of Staff, was it Robert Klain? That guy is certifiable Jewish. Yes. Zionist. Yes. Chabad? Nope. And then we've got the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, the top of the CIA, David S. Cohen. Jewish? Yes. Zionist? Yes. Chabad? Nope. What you learning here? Oh, gee. You can't just pick a random Jewish group and be like, the Jews do all this stuff. These people First of all, it ain't the Jews. Okay, you could name millions of Jews that don't own jack shit, don't run banks, don't run media, don't want war. Okay, it's these Jews, not the Jews, and these Jews are racial supremacists. It's not even a religion. The religion for them is not Moses and the Torah and all that. The only part of the religion they maintain is their ethnic identitarian way of thinking. They're Jewish because they're Jewish because their parents were Jewish. It's a cult passed on by descent, where they are better than you because they're part of this group and you ain't. We're the chosen people of God. When you remove God, they're still chosen people based on their own self-proclaimed chosenness. Self-proclaimed either way, because God doesn't exist. It's a cult. They are supremacists. They have a state. There are a bunch of different factions, but it's not the Mizrahi. It's not the Sephardic. It's not Chabad. It's none of those groups. It's Likud. It's a political party in Israel, the state they control. And that is who pressures the U.S. There are other groups, Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein, another Jew, yes. Zionist, yes. Chabad, no. They backed Ehud Barak, Jewish Zionist Prime Minister of Israel. Chabad, no. Okay, this can go on forever. And then you look at the claims of what Chabad secretly controls Russia and Iran and Syria. Maybe Hezbollah too. Why not? Right? All their actions go against Israeli interests and therefore their own interests, especially Iran. Holy hell. And how do you come up with this crap? Marijuana. Yankee C says, take care of yourself, Ryan. Blessing on your house. Thank you. His fever is down to 39.5, but that's only with a suppository, which we have to keep giving him every 6 hours. It's kawaii so. This poor thing, and it breaks my heart, and there's nothing I can do. And I'm angry. I'm angry about that. I'm angry about the healthcare system. I'm angry about all of it. And, a lot of this, as bad as universal healthcare is, it's better only if you're on that line where you don't qualify for the free care and you just barely have to and you can't afford the pay care. If you're in that boat, like a lot of Americans, that I agree. Even shitty care that won't at least make you bankrupt is better than good care that is going to suck up everything. It was better before Corona. Well, with the Fauci virus, has gutted the hospitals and stuff. And it ain't all of Japan, but it is Osaka and it is Tokyo. They bought in. And there's a lot of leverage there. And there's something going around. A lot of people are sick right now. And of course, they've had these festivals. The Children's Festival today is Water Day. There's big groups of people and everyone around. But the other thing is, we usually have a monsoon season in June. We had the driest season on record ever in the history of the whole country. Was this year, last month. It only rained like 3 times. It usually rains every day. So a lot of people went out more than usual. And it's a lot drier and heat and whatever. Allergies are up. It changes the plants. It changes everything. Everyone's sick. Hospitals are full. I'm like, you can't put a 4-year-old with 105-degree fever at the front of the line? Nope. They don't give a damn. Does he have corona? So they asked. I was this close to violence. Fortunately, we have a babysitter who's also a nurse. I just begged to come out of the house last night, and she did. But there isn't much. I'm not going to say if we did anything illegal. I'm just going to say, we did what we had to do. And I think anybody else would do the same thing. It's my child. I'd do it for any child. Anyway, what was I saying? Well, let me check the Bigot Arena real fast. All right. You can still donate on Entropy. And I wish, sometime you ought to, because they were very loyal to us and I'm loyal to them. They were there before Odysee existed. They were there before Rumble. They, Entropy and Bitchute are the old school alt media, and props to them. I'm sure they're hurting too as market competition comes in. There's some links in Entropy too that Pete Izzy has put into Rumble and to ANC report donations. We are in fundraising for the Africa film, and about a 30-minute, it's like 28-minute extra to NUMEC on how terrorists formed a nation. And again, you can go through that too. All the progenitors of these terrorist groups. Jewish Zionists, yes. Chabad, nope. So, get off this train. Oh, Rabbi so-and-so claimed he's close to Putin. Yeah, why wouldn't he? He's a rabbi. He's a liar. And he's going to say that. And maybe, Putin, as long as you're doing stuff in Russian interest, he doesn't care what your religion is. He's definitely a hardcore Eastern Orthodox Christian. But if you're some other kind of Christian, or you're a Jew, or you're Muslim, like a lot of the Chechens are, he doesn't care. Well, the Chechens are fighting in Ukraine. But there were moments, 2 different Chechen wars, which were horrible and bloody, and Russia wasn't ready for it. They won just because of their sheer size. They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for Georgia. Georgia's a tiny little flea, but they were NATO-backed and trained and had great weapons. And Russia had a hard time in the beginning of that war. And as Scott Ritter said, they just kind of grinded their way over them out of sheer size, and they had to bring in their armor and everything. But they learned a lesson there, and they learned, we're going to prepare. And in 2014, with the Maidan coup, and you had 8 years of ethnic Russians getting murdered in Donbass. 13,000, they say 14. I revised those based on the evidence, but minimal. 13,000 people died over 8 years. That's a war. It's more than the U.S. lost in the Second Gulf War. That's why they invaded Ukraine. But during that time, Russia couldn't hit. They couldn't hit. They weren't ready back in 2014. They couldn't deal with the sanctions. They couldn't deal with all the tech. Yeah, they have hypersonic. Those are expensive and take like 2 years to make. People are, it's funny because the same people that criticize people, armchair or generals, whatever, and they're saying, oh, yeah, you just play lots of video games. You think you know this and that. And then in the same breath, start talking about hypersonic missiles and stuff. I'm like, you are what you just accuse everyone else of. You don't understand this stuff on an operational level at all. I can tell you, I don't know either, but I know what I don't know. In my level, I do talk to experts who do know what they're talking about on that field. And people who've been in intelligence. I know a lot about these weapons. And just from covering the Syrian war for over 9 years, I learned a lot about air defense and armor and all the, things I only had a general knowledge of before. I know a lot of specifics on that, more than the average Joe. Still not an expert on these things. But I know enough that when I start hearing someone just talking about, oh, yeah, we'll just do this. And I'm like, okay, you're playing Call of Duty too long. Or you're just watching you're dick smoking certain YouTubers that are just, all on one side or all on the other. They're either totally pro-Russia, totally pro-America, whatever. And they just ignore anything contrary to their narrative. Russia's winning this war. But they had a hard time doing pontoon bridges across a river. They lost a lot of guys. Anybody with the fantasy that thinks they're going to cross the ocean and attack the United States is smoking copium. Okay, they don't have that ability. The U.S. also does not have the ability to invade Russia. The logistics are a nightmare. It's too far away, too heavy on the defense. Could not be done, especially now that the military has been gutted from the vaccine mandates. I think I have a little one in here. Oh, no. We had an earthquake. Stuff's moving around. I got one pushing on the door. It looks like the weights are too much. We'll see. Squirrel Nuts just dropped in 30 on Entropy and said, hope your kids is doing better. Thank you. We've got the baby trying to intercept. He He's pushing on the door. I got 45 pounds of weight up on the corner. We'll see if he can get that done. He almost earned it if he can get in here with that. Dame Dale. I said, don't do that. That distraction threw me off. All right, 25 from Mikey. Have you seen a documentary called The Nuclear Scare Scam? I'm wondering if this guy, Galen Windsor, is a kook or not. He has some insane stories, especially where bodies and weapons were dumped, cheered. I have not seen it. From that, sounds kooky to me, but I don't know. I put in a great video by Sabina Hosenfelter on Is Nuclear Green, which is in the Telegram. It's just a regular video, but you should check that out. Thorium's the way to go. Maybe modular sites are also a way to go. Turning off your nuclear energy is dumb. Cutting off pipelines you already built and paid for is dumb. Germany. That's why I think Schultz is the next to go. But I do think when the Americans made Stuxnet and the Israelis released it, that attacked German parts. There's 2 miniature bombs. This is right when Germany shut down all their plants. I think it may have been, and Chuck, I don't know this, but just throwing this out there. They didn't know how to fix it. And they didn't want to risk one going awry. So they just turned them off. And a lot of the green cult wanted to do that anyway. They're all scared of the word nuclear because of Chernobyl. Look, it's not renewable, but with thorium, it would last thousands of years. They all want uranium-235 because you can build bombs out of it. That's a nightmare. You could do molten salt and thorium. Still wouldn't do all the energy needs, but you'd have way cheaper electricity, which would make electric things, cars and other things, more viable. They still have battery problems and rare metal problems and rare earth metal problems. They still got problems. One of the waste products from rare earth metal digging, though, is thorium. So, you know, that would kind of feed into itself. Might as well use it. I have talks with Carl Denninger, not Ken Sorsen, Carl Denninger about thorium and others. Maybe we'll do some more of those again. No one listens, though. Right? You can point out this is how you fix your energy needs. It doesn't matter because it's not a science problem. It's a political problem. Getting that done would require getting the people in charge to give it the green light. They can stop or start something based on regulations, the death by regulation, and funding. That's the way it is. Things on the top. This is not like a market like t-shirts and shoes where you're like, oh, let's build a nuclear power plant. That takes a lot of capital, a lot of investment. And right now, they're profiteering too much on ESGs. But the ESG bubble is not based on earnings. It's based on new investment, right? So like, oh, get into this. Don't worry. It's being subsidized. We're going to force them to eat vegan meat or whatever because we can profit from it. Watch that Europe, you're first, right? And then probably Australia and Canada. You're going to roll over for this because Europeans are good people and they want to protect the planet and they love. That's why every time they roll out some do-gooder theme, they fall for it. Every time, like, oh, it's for the environment, it's for the children, it's for whatever, and they're just such a sucker. Read, where is it? My book's back here somewhere. The Separation of Business and State. You'll find on everything from the environment to the mail to, you know, they always pick some do-gooder theme. It's a nice little bow to cover up, which just amounts to nothing other than massive profiteering. And that goes for the environment. Even vaccines, healthcare, health, right? Health. We all want health too. We all want a great environment. But they're not doing things in the healthcare industry for the sake of health and helping people. It's just profiteering. They'll put out things that harm you. They'll put out things that are useless if they can make a buck. And they know they can because of government. In a free market system, those things would fail. Worse than that, they'd go out of business and they'd get sued. But government gives them immunity. So the market is dead right there. If they mess up, they can't be sued. Okay. Government gave them immunity. Government gives them subsidies. Government and the media push their agenda on everybody. They want vaccines for kids now for corona. Doesn't work. You saw how it was like 90% effective, went all the way down to 40 something, all the way down now. They just shut up. Doesn't work at all. Squirrel Nuts with a 505. He put in a Lincoln and a Jefferson. They go to war. It's possible to get a pack of Israel did 9/11 A and C. Oh, is it possible to get a pack of Israel did 9/11 A and C stickers? Just that sticker. And how would one go about that? Okay. If I were to make a package of just those, I'd have to pull them out of the other sticker packs because they're just 10 stickers, and that's one of them. And I don't have the means to make those again. Those were made by somebody else living in another part of Asia who no longer lives there. So I'll have to talk to that person. We'll see. I do love that sticker. Maybe Varg and I could redesign it, almost the exact same sticker, and put it on the shop. And then, yes, you could order them in 3 packs or 9 packs, I believe is what's available. So you could get like 18 by getting 2 9-packs. Save on shipping. That's something. P Dizzy, remind me to do that when the thing's over. I will get up with Varg when he's awake, and we will make a Israel did 9/11 sticker. I think that's an excellent idea. Yeah, negative efficiency after the vax protection wears off. Well, look, that I'm not saying all vaccines. Again, I'm saying that vaccine actually lowers your immune system right after you get it. So right after you get it, you're very vulnerable to COVID. You got to survive that dip, and then you need a booster and They're just stretching out the variants and stuff. I hope that woke a lot of people up about Big Pharma. Like, they're not there to help you. They're there to profit from your sickness. Why cure something when you can find a pill for perpetual? What the hell? Oh, crap. Here we go. When that goes off, man, it's over 100 degrees here. It's 39, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. They want to keep you sick. Look at all the elderly people. You just take a pill a day. You take 7 pills a day. This, and this. And then you're hooked on this for the rest of your life until you die. They don't care. We do have boycott water bottles. I hear a screaming war going on in the room over there. Anyway, I just thought I'd talk today about ESG. The real meat and potatoes of that is on Substack. Go read the article I put up there. And shut the fuck up about Chabad. They don't control shit. Russia works in its own national interest. That is fucking clear with everything Putin's been doing. He's arrested these people. He's thrown them out of the country. He's going after Ukraine. Kolomoisky has having his assets physically destroyed right now. They owned Ukraine. They had a Jewish Zionist prime minister. They had a Jewish Zionist president. They had Jewish Zionist governors. They had Jewish Zionist oligarchs. Or, by the way, all this aid going into Ukraine, it's not even going in the military, most of it. It's going right in the pocket of oligarchs. How many of them are Chabad? Again, none. That's not who's in charge. So shut the fuck up about Chabad. They don't matter. There's the Substack link in Odysee. Thank you, P1 Dizzy. Yes, in that top article. What did I call it? I think I called it Green Cult. The Green Cult are just profiteers with a do-gooder theme. And I'll put the direct link in Odysee right now. Well, I'll put it in entropy first. Tom for 5 says, make a Numex shirt. Ooh, great idea. I have to get on that. That really is a good idea. We'll put that in with the artist. I do need a graphic designer. Mine has been gobbled up by people who can pay him more. So if you know anybody that can design stuff, t-shirts, whatever, I need a guy in the chair for that. Varg and I, we have a limit to what we can do. Really need like a real artist, and you'll get paid and you'll be helping us fight the actual Zog, the actual people in charge. If you haven't seen New Mech, it's on Rumble. You definitely want to see that. And we're doing a fundraiser on ANC Report, ancreport.com right now. I haven't looked at it. Let's see where it was at. It was at 5% the other day. Is now at 6%. All right, slowly moving forward. 6%. When that goal is met, I'm releasing 3 films. 2 of them are about Israel and their weapons procurement and all the illegal things they do, and 1 is about a gambit that happened. He chose Africa as the template, but it's about neocolonialism, you could say, the new method of robbing the poor blind and what's keeping Africa down. But you could recycle this model on Latin America, on Eastern Europe, on Indochina. It's the same methods in all the above. Dame. He's desperately trying to get in this door. So I put the weights there. New Mech shirt and Israel did 9/11 stickers. All right, I will get on that. Thank you to Tom and Squirrel Nuts, and also over on Entropy. Thank you to, I think his name is Yankee Cunt. I don't know. It says ... on the top. Proto Kill, Mikey, Comment, Aiden Daniel. Oh, I missed one. Wait, here's one. Comment. I missed 2 of them. Right, not the first time I heard of him, but I listened to some series between Pete Kiones and Thomas 777 that were very good. I do believe he isn't hip to Kennedy assassination, but definitely headstrong and good analysis. Would you be willing to stream with 777? Sure, but that's up to him, not me. I'll stream with whoever. Based, I think that's Base Race Mixer. It just says Base Rack, but I've seen his name before. Martinez gets mad because Putin troops aren't 100% Aryan, as well as the people of Russia and the degenerative problems in Russia. I don't agree with his purist BS. He and people like him need to come to reality. Well, this guy, this is some Hispanic guy that's a white supremacist in Canada. And it's like, yeah, guess what? Putin's not a white nationalist. Nobody is. Maybe Azov, Italian, or whatever. They're also getting their ass kicked. That's not going to work. Russia has 150 million people, a lot of them not white. So what? That's what happens when you take over other people's territories, for one. It's the largest country in the world. The eastern half is very Asiatic. I wouldn't say Asian, but Asian-ish. It's native Siberians and stuff especially. They're all Russian, though. They speak Russian, and they're part of Russian culture, and they're Russian. Fully assimilated. It's very different than like a lot of the migrants going to the UK. Maybe they learn some English, but by and large maintain their own culture, their own religion, their own ways, very much against the natives that live there. That's hostility. That's multiculturalism. That's not assimilation. But these people, that's not his problem. This guy's a fake white supremacist. If you look at Martinez, this is another one of those Chabad dick writers and stuff. If you look at their analysis, it's always against Israel's enemies, right? They claim to be anti-Semitic, which again, Israel needs, right? Anti-Semitism in the token variety of powerless people benefits Zionists. They love to point to that because that justifies the ADL has nothing to do. If they didn't have Richard Spencer, they'd create one. And that's the reason why this guy, some nobody, giving speeches, doing C. Kyle with his hand and stuff, gets to be on CNN. Right? Charlottesville was nothing. The majority of agitators at Charlottesville were Antifa communists who were brought in by bus, right, to have a conflict at this Unite the Right rally from Kessler. And Putin saw, or not, Richard Spencer sees a parade and runs to the front of it. It's like, I did this. And he's a white supremacist. There's people in Klan outfits and stuff, you know. Unfortunately, some of them had Confederate battle flags. Idiots. They're there to protect the statue of Robert E. Lee, but no, you know, there was a crowd of people who'd been doing that and been there all the time in McIntyre Park. But these alt-right retards, these radical left retards get in there and start fighting each other. That's what they needed. They used that in the debates to dismantle Trump. They're like, what about Charlottesville? Charlottesville. You're a white supremacist. Proud Boys are white supremacists. You support them. You're a white supremacist, Trump. They need that. And they want them to attach themselves to people. But people like that Canuck, if you look at they hate Iran, they hate Russia, right? They're against Assad in Syria. Like, all his positions are the same positions as the Zionist Jew in Israel, except he says he hates Jews and he's a white supremacist. Yeah, okay, you're a white supremacist that hates all of Zionist's enemies. Temple of Zion, right? All their enemies are your enemies. Huh. It's almost like you're a paid shill. Run around criticizing all of Israel's enemies, and you're an anti-Semite, which is something they need. That's almost like a paid person to edit Wikipedia. Now, I'm not saying they are, but you might as well be, because all your behavior matches somebody. Like, if you didn't do that for free, they would pay someone to fill that role. What's even more sad is I think they are doing it for free. I think they're just that dumb. They hate Muslims, right? Well, so do Zionists, right? Collectively, all of them. Well, you might as well just move to Israel. In fact, Spencer called that the model. He's a liberal. A lot of these alt-right people are closet liberals. All their positions are liberal, except for maybe immigration. They're scared of Rona, lockdown, all that, all the liberal stuff. Always bashing on conservatives. Call it a kosher sandwich, but they always only attack one piece of bread, right? It's always the right side they're hitting and ignore the left. I don't know. Hope you can see through that. Comment channel says, Ryan, I totally agree that Adam Green has lost the plot. For Ukraine specifically, do you have any off-ramp that let the population take the brunt? Well, Adam is not like the other people I just named. He believes it. He's not lying. He sincerely thinks this stuff is true. He's just dumb. Martinez and those other people, they know better, and they say it anyway because they're grifting, right? They just want a media presence, whatever. Screw these people. He wants to debate on Killstream. I'm all for that. When I have absolutely nothing else to do, that's what I'll do. Because that guy doesn't matter. He's a nobody, and it ain't worth my time. But I'll go there like all my other debates, which is just a lecture at some moron, so that the people watching have the benefit of getting educated about something. But this anti-Putin screed, I mean, you sound just like Victoria Nuland and Blinken and Wolf Blitzer and the CNN heads. You might as well be a Zionist. And setting the bar, well, he didn't get them all. I already had a debate with Jeremy Fuckowitz, what's his name, on Adam's channel with Adam moderating. I mopped the floor with him. This is after like a year of agitating. I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. They would never do it. I wanted Brendan O'Connell. He was too much of a pussy. He wouldn't show up. He goes on his YouTube channel and calls for my assassination, accuses me of being a homosexual and a drug addict and anything else he thinks is negative, right? None of it true. But he wouldn't debate. He had somebody debate on his behalf on Adam's channel. Right, where Adam's the moderator, but he's totally on the other side, I found out. Didn't matter. 201, 301, 401. Their idea is so fucking stupid. It doesn't matter how many of them there are. They're going to lose that argument because it's dumb. Anyway. And then Martinez just wants attention. I'm going to give it to him. But not when my kid's sick and not when I got new mech out and things like this is a business. And that doesn't make anything. It's a waste of my day. All these debates, even Destiny stuff, is just a waste of my time. At least Destiny had a presence, so I got a little bit like recognition of people. Oh, I hadn't seen you until I saw that. And then they start following my work. Wouldn't really work now that I'm not allowed on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, doesn't matter. But this Martinez guy is a total nobody. At least Adam Green had a show. He had a pretty popular show before he got kicked off YouTube. And I feel for anybody that's been censored like that. I met him in person. I like him. I like that, he wants what's good for the country and he's against, Zog and all that. He's just wrong about the Sabad stuff. But I think he's gone so far in that he can't back out. Like it would be impossible for him to reverse his position on that because he talks about it every day. Right. And so it's a sunk in fallacy. He can't turn that ship around. Even if he realizes, oh yeah, I'm wrong on all this, that would ruin his career, so he's gonna keep saying it. But he needs to start fading off it and talk about Likud and AIPAC and stuff a bit more because they're actually in charge and run things. These pedophile rings and stuff, they trace back to the same place. And it's not Chabad. $1 from Base Race Mixer. Please take Martinez to the shed on the debate. I'll fucking tip you well. Oh, I will. He's going to get cleaned. I can give him my arguments ahead of time. It won't matter. This guy's so wrong. 5 from Daniel Stone. Hey, Ryan, hope your little one is doing okay. A-okay. Not much extra cash on hand at present, but I figured I could toss you a little for a drink or two. Here's to better times for all of us. And may the truth come to light for the masses to see and understand. Smiley face. Thank you for that. I will get him. He's puking everything. All he can really have is lukewarm water and tea. But I'm going to try. I know about the brat diet. It doesn't work. I'm going to try and find him something with your $5 that he can eat. Otherwise, the baby can get some milk. So thank you guys. RN Jim Zeus for 10 on Entropy. Numec is awesome. Fantastic work. Thanks for hooking up the sticker pack from the fundraiser. You're the man. Yeah, I handed those out to people who came to the event, and then for the few who donated that didn't come, I hope you got them in the mail. If not, hit me up and say, because Gifts and Go doesn't give you a list of who donated and all that. Like it wasn't easy. That's why we try to set up our own thing now. But yeah, if you didn't get a sticker pack and you should have, just let me know. We'll send you one. I left some in the US, so it'll only take like 2 days. One from the comment channel. I would fund the debate starting at 500 with you and Adam because I'm tired of hearing the contrary. Oh, well, I'd do that. Fuck 500 for sure. I don't think Adam will do that though. I've asked him to debate. He always wants to debate some other guy. I'm like, no, you debate. I don't want to debate Jeremy or some other fill-in. Like, it's your thing. Why don't you have the debate? He ain't gonna do that. Kate for 25 says, do you know why this Nord 1 machine part that has been sitting in Canada for ages is so special that nobody can make another one? Best wishes for you and your family. Good health. Well, people could make another one, but it would take way longer to build a part than just ship the thing. And they're gonna have to comply. They're gonna ship it, they're gonna use it, and they're gonna have to turn that on. Or Schultz's days are numbered. These are complex things, like machine parts and trade secrets and stuff. They're very specific. We're at the edge. And listen, technology does not always just constantly get better. If we don't get the right education in science and technology, engineering, then there are things we used to be able to do that we can't do now because we don't have enough people that know how to do it. Now, that part probably doesn't fall in that category, but there are a lot of things that do in the space program and so on that, yeah, we were better then than we are now. And I think that's really going to decline. Because look at our educational system. Not a lot of STEM. And at least in the US, we will not be able to build the sort of things. The levitating trains in Japan and all that. That might have been a one generation thing. Can we still make those? Don't know. Dusty Boots says, Ryan, what are your thoughts on Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett invests in ESGs too. And he's one of these guys that go on TV and promote He won't promote certain stocks and stuff, but he'll be on the bandwagon of going green or whatever, knowing that that's going to benefit his investments. And of course, like too big to fail, right? Oh, we got to do something. Like, yeah, because you're invested in all these financial institutions and you need a bailout. Because when they get bailed out, you get bailed out. See how that works? That's why every talking head, every rich person ever talked about bailing out the banks, because they're all in it with them. Total conflict of interest. We did not need banker bailouts. They should have failed. You screw up, you fail. That's the natural market regulation. You'll be replaced. How much is gas right now in your state? Let's do a quick poll. If you're in the United States, oh, well, hell, wherever you're from. But if you're in the U.S., tell me your state. How much is a gallon of gas? About. Is it over $4? I want to know. Apparently, they went down a little bit. Holy crap. $6.49. That's got to be California. Got to be. $6.49. Okay. Anyone else? I asked if it was over $4. It's over $6 there. $4.50 Maryland. That's a lot from Maryland, though. They don't have the cash flow that California has. $3.69 in North Carolina. That's still very high for a southern state. $3.69. I mean, even $2.80, over $3 is nuts. Over $4.50 in Maryland. Man. Pennsylvania, $4.79. Michigan, $4.79. Woo. Even though they're Yankee states, that's still over $4. Over $3 even. That's a lot for Pennsylvania. Michigan, that's still a lot. $4.79. $2.30. Itravik. Oh, it's Australia. Oh, it's a liter. Oh, I mean, this is per gallon. We're saying this for a gallon. That's $2.30 a liter. Damn. That's way too high. Holy crap. Daniel Stone, also in California, $5.79 when I filled up a week ago. Our state has a gas tax. Oh, that's the other thing. It's like a 9% tax on gas in California. It's insane. Yankee Carpetbagger. Oh, that's what the C stood for. $4.60 New Jersey. That's not as bad as Pennsylvania. Because you have to understand cost of living and stuff way higher in New Jersey than is PA, but that's still pretty bad. Chip Walker, $4.79 in North Carolina. So different parts of that state, different rates. That's way too high for that state. $5.89 in Northern California. That's the good half of California. Still $5.89, $5.40. And I guess that's Las Vegas. They were LV, so Nevada. Washington State, $5.15. $5.40, $5.50, way over the $4 mark. $4.50 in Nebraska. Way too high for that state. Cost of living in Nebraska isn't very high. $4.50. I wonder how bad it is on diesel, which is going to affect agriculture. And this is the Biden price hike. This is what happens from going green. They put all these government subsidies in ESGs, closed down pipelines, reneged on drilling rights, totally blockading Russian oil, sanctions on Iran, sanctions on Venezuela. Saudis cannot make up for all of that. I think it's like 7 something for diesel. It is a manufactured crisis. And they're not going to solve it. They can't. The only way to solve it is to quit this green cult. Kevin Sanders, California, $5.95 was $6.83. Holy crap. This is after dipping into the strategic oil reserves too. That's a temporary down scoop. And if you're going from 6 to 5, it's like, oh, look, well, here's what we'll do. We'll go way up and then we'll go down a little bit. That's still up significantly. Kate with a dead Hamilton says, thanks for your answer. Would love a Lori Lightfoot woodshed. Crazy identitarian is running again. Oh, she is the worst mayor in the United States. She is the worst. She's worse than Gavin Newsom. She's worse than Whitler. She looks like a burnt Magikarp from Pokemon or like a black Beetlejuice. She's an identitarian. She wouldn't hire people if they're white. She's a racist. She's ruined Chicago. Not that it was ever some land of sunshine, but the mob, the shootings, they're getting dozens of shootings every weekend. Dozens, plural. When there was that shooting with that Antifa guy, shot people the 4th of July, they had 68 other shootings. 68 on top of that. Because that's Chicago. They banned guns, by the way. Seems the criminals keep using them. Magikarp, it's called. Or Magikarp, maybe. Maga. It looks like a koi fish, but it's a Pokemon character. I only know like 4. That's the one I know. I know Pikachu, that one. Snorlax and Squirtle. That's the only 4 I know, but she looks like that fish. I don't know if I can woodshed her. It's just endless. Like, she's done everything wrong. Why in the world would they vote for her again? She should lose like, only get like 1% of the vote. No one should want that in there. I don't know who she's running against, though. Even when they had Rahm Emanuel, total scumbag, profiteer, all that, but he wasn't. Yeah, he is one of those. He wasn't as bad as her. She's the worst. Show more. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I found a way to hit a button that only shows Shekelchats. Interesting. Just learned that now. Go to Substack, read the article. I will see you on Telegram in a few minutes. Now I have to find out how to end this because I have showed my StreamYards, it appears. Oh, there I am. All right. Let's show this commercial real fast.
Ground producer and proprietor, patriotic projectile party poppers. Got some uppity brown people making trouble for your empire? Replace them with a charred freighter and a cloud of white smoke. So remember, if your next geostrategic boondoggle going awry, don't call us, we'll call you.
Introducing Cognitive Interrupter Alpha. Oh yeah!
Oh no.
Oh yeah?
No.
Scientifically formulated by men who look like doctors. This supplement has been proven in over 1.5 studies to heighten critical thinking while simultaneously preserving your myopic Abrahamic nationalist worldview while still keeping you on a short leash of ignorance and fear. Results may vary from person to person. May take 104 weeks to see lasting results. If warts appear...
Hey Doc, what the hell is this?
I don't know, but it don't look right.
Please contact your local Jonestown chapter. And remember to check out Select Auto Shift for a sweet 45-degree win. The globalist Luciferians and their Islamist supplicants are pouring across the borders of several Western nations, including our own. The thrust of their zeal threatens to violate the sovereignty of our way of life, but we can never let it threaten our bodies. Presenting Homogard, a male chastity phallic blocker. It's designed to prevent any jihadi penetration to your rectum while applying moderate pressure to the prostate gland to promote your masculine vitality. Homogard. It is also equipped with an array of nodes to detect the brain activity of any potential Wahhabi salami near you, which will silently alert you with a subtle vibration. Homogard. This is a true breakthrough in health and defense, but don't take my word for it. Homogard made me feel safe, but I'm insecure in a whole nother way now. I never knew just how many Wahhabi terrorists were near me all the time. Thanks, Homogard.
It's not a stretch of the imagination that our own bodies are under threat of an invasion, because Homagard has stretched out far more than that for me.
We can and will defeat the globalist scum on the home front, but we need to make sure we're well protected around back. Homagard.
Want a casual dining experience that's as creepy as it is fun? We have an abductable, delectable selection of cheeses and sauces. And don't forget hot dogs. Featuring wholesome live music entertainment that's not at all hypnotic. Go balls deep on one of our many ping pong tables. Then come deep inside and see our newly renovated soundproof daycare.
They'll be fine.
Try our all-new Spirit Kitchen soups and salads.
What the fuck is that?
Don't let hunger get away with molesting your day. Pedos to pizza. Good times and creepy vibes, or we'll eat your kids free.
You mean kids eat free?
Yeah, what you said.
Love those. Love the Don't Israel commercials as well. Let's go back to live chat. Let's see. Got to go over some calendar stuff, right? It's behind my head, I guess, the whole time. Should have had Miss Lovely over here. But does that work? Nope. Does that work? Yeah. All right. First of all, getting this.
And then black, please.
Oh,
And black.
thank you. Guys, let's get up and move the weights from the door. My wife was bringing me a drink and something to eat. It's nice. Looking over at the calendar, first we have Scott Ritter's birthday was July 15th, which is also the same day Christians sacked Jerusalem. Why is that on there? This is a significant event in history. Followed by the 16th, I believe, is Michael Collins Piper's birthday. Yes, Michael Collins' birthday, bass JFK guy. He is the last voice on the New Mech movie was Michael Collins Piper. His birthday was the 16th, so maybe have a steak in his honor because that's what he liked. And then, of course, sadly, today, for most of you, the 17th is the day that Dr. David Kelly was murdered. And he was murdered. He did not commit suicide in the woods. Last correspondence with Judith Miller. Enough said. He was debunking their mobile weapons lab anthrax claim, and so they got rid of him. He knew a little too much about who had actually sent that stuff around to. Is the stream buffering? It'll do that. You can watch it on VK or Rumble. It should be fine on Rumble. You know, and past when these streams end, if you want to share them, Rumble seems to finish processing or whatever way faster than Odysee. Just share the Rumble link around. There you go. Is it working now? Judith Miller is not Jewish. She's definitely Zionist. She dated Louis Libby. He's a hardcore. He was a lawyer for Mark Rich. Okay, Mark Rich, and he was a lawyer for the Mossad. He got disbarred, so at least he got that punishment, I suppose. Not allowed to name the obvious. That's a no-no. In the Fed, Dr. Paul, based Asian in a Confederate bikini, is reading it. You can't get any cooler than that. How cool is she? Like, that is awesome. Anyway, quit the dick riding on Chabad. You sound like Alex Jones ranting about Bilderberg, right? It's not Bilderberg. It's not Chabad. It's not the Club of Rome. It's none of these little things. Right? It's not even secret. It's not a secret society at all. They do it right in front of your face. It's AIPAC. It's the Zionists, and they have names. I didn't go over the Federal Reserve. You would like to go over the last chairman? Yellen, right? Bernanke. What's his name? Not Greenspun. Yeah, Greenspun. Or Greenberg. Sorry. Same thing. Keep going down the list of Federal Reserve chairman. What you going to find? Not Chabad. You are going to find Jewish Zionists, but you're not going to find that one. It's a different faction. It's almost like somebody else is way bigger and more powerful. Yeah, London, money, power, all this crap. It's just like, it's a big swerve. This one, that one, this one, that one. Look, man, it's not hard. Like, we know who's doing these things. We know who runs the bank. We know who runs the media. Who financed Demona? The Rothschilds did. Along with the Sonborn Institute. Rudolf Sonborn and those guys? Chabad? Nope. Likud? Yeah. Every time. Get it together. Like, this should not have to be explained. But it does. So, and you can go to Larry Silverstein, the rest of them, like, they all have something in common. And it's not Chabad. Okay, then. I think I fucking beat that into the ground. Oh, we've got some weirdo blaming all J's and praising Hitler. Okay, Fed. Get lost. See you on Telegram. Peace.